Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at two Playmobil Scooby-Doo sets. Now the funny thing with Playmobil is they have set numbers, but they don't have names. The way Lego sets have like a set number and then like an official name, these don't really. But obviously you can tell 70286 is the Mystery Machine, and then 70287 is primarily Shaggy and Scooby, but then of course they come with a ghost as well. So I think this is really cool. Playmobil has really been doing some nice stuff with their licensed properties. All of the Ghostbusters sets that I have, I'm really impressed with. So when I saw this, I really wanted to pick it up. And they've even gone on to do a DeLorean from Back to the Future, which I also have on the way. So very excited for all this stuff. They do have, I think there's a few other. Let me see. I'm trying to think about this. So there are other Scooby-Doo sets in the future. I saw them at Toy Fair. They will be eventually on the way. There was like a graveyard scene, and there was a haunted mansion type of thing, and a lot of other stuff. But available right now, and they probably have this on the back of the packaging. Maybe not on the back of this packaging. Maybe on the back of this packaging. Yes. So down here you can see these little blind bags, 70288. And this is a smart way to get some more like Monster of the Week episode ghost characters, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of cool. So there's a bunch of blind bags you can get. I don't know if there's a way to tell on the blind bags what's inside. There might be a code system or something. I'll have to Google that. But I think that's really neat. Obviously, there were a lot of iconic ghosts throughout the years on the classic show. And I think that's a smart way to get more of those characters out there without having to make you buy a ton of other sets. But of course, there will be other sets in the future. So if you do want to pick those sets up, I haven't decided yet. I guess it's going to decide how well these go. I definitely at least wanted the Mystery Machine because I kind of have like an iconic classic fictional car like thing going on here for Playmobil. I have the Ecto-1, I have the DeLorean Mystery Machine here, so I definitely wanted to grab this and add it to the collection. I would really love them to keep going. I mean, you know, give us the A-Team van, give us a Turtle van, give us the Batmobile, you know what I mean? Give us all kinds of cool stuff. I'd love it. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead. Let's take a real quick look at the packaging here. You can see on the back, shows you like the back door's open, some of the equipment inside. You have a side door that opens here. You can also load in from the top, it looks like. Some kind of light up feature, which is actually pretty cool. And it shows you the characters on the side. You get Daphne, Velma, and Fred. And it also boasts ghost card and sticker. I don't know what that is, so we'll see how that goes. It also boggles my mind that with Playmobil, like this whole giant set is only 72 pieces. It's not like Lego where you actually have to build it up. There will be some assembly required, and it looks like I might even need a AAA battery, so that's good to know. But it looks like this is like the full part listing here, so that's kind of cool. So that's pretty much it for the packaging for that one. For the smaller Scoob and Shaggy set, it's pretty much just the two of them with the ghost. The ghost glows in the dark. That's awesome. It looks like it's a dude in a costume. It's not an actual ghost. Spoilers. But you can see the part listing right there. So I think these look pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead, get everything out of the box, assembled, and stickered up, and we'll take a closer look. So here's everything from the two sets all put together. There's only a few stickers to apply. It really wasn't too bad. First off, I want to show you some of the stuff that come with the sets as far as like the stickers and the cards that they talked about. So with the Scooby set, with the smaller set, you get a little like Playmobil book that lets you look through like it's basically like a catalog of other things. Here's that DeLorean I talked about, which I'm really excited about. Here's a look at some of the other Scooby stuff. Here's that haunted mansion I talked about. There's like a stagecoach. This looks like a dining room scene. I think this is like a cauldron in a graveyard. There's like some kind of Egyptian tomb or something. Here's the other graveyard scene I talked about. So they definitely do have a bunch of other sets coming. Here's the Ghostbusters I talked about. Apparently they also have How to Train Your Dragon. And then they just kind of have the stuff that's like their own creations that's not really licensed, like, you know, dragons, knights, things like that, which actually looks pretty cool. I think the castles actually look really neat. Got some pirates in there. So they do have some figure blind bags similar to like what Lego does. They have like some rescue vehicles. This looks like some regular town stuff, gas station, tow truck, trash truck, maybe some space stuff. They've actually had some space stuff, I think it's in stores now, that actually looked pretty cool to me. Here's some more like This looks to be like maybe just a giant house, kind of like a dollhouse. I have a camper, have some more blind bags, have some like farm equipment. This is their like horse. They have equestrian kind of thing going on here. This looks like magic. Oh, they're mermaids. Okay. This kind of reminds me of like the elves line that Lego has, something similar to that. So a lot of cool stuff in there. They did have a Wild West theme at one point that I felt like I kept looking for and I never saw anything, and now it's not in the book. I'm kind of bummed. I think it might be done, so I'll have to check that out. But putting that aside, you also get your instruction booklets. Really nice color photos that tell you how to put everything together. So these are really nice. And then you do get some stickers. So basically it looks like you get one sticker for every character. So for the Mystery Machine, obviously you get Daphne, you get Fred, you get Velma, and then over here you get Shaggy, Scooby, and the Ghost. And these are all stickers. You can go ahead, put them wherever you like. I'm just going to leave them for now, but pretty cool. Fun little added bonus. So I just wanted to go through that stuff real quick, let you know that all that is included. Obviously the Mystery Machine is the bigger set. I'm going to start over here with the Scooby set just because it's a little bit less involved. So here is Shaggy. I think he looks pretty cool. I think it's fun that they decided to stick with the like Playmobil face aesthetic, because they could have easily just printed, you know, a face that looked more like the cartoon, but they kind of kept it in their universe. They did the same thing with the Ghostbusters and with Back to the Future as well. I think that's kind of fun. It's kind of like Lego minifigures, although Lego started to kind of print faces that look more like you know, the characters from the show. They're more accurate instead of keeping them in the Lego aesthetic. But when they first started out, like Lego Star Wars was just, you know, the typical yellow Lego head. And I kind of respected them for that. And not that I don't like that they're getting more realistic with it. I just think it's kind of fun because that way you're bringing it into their universe. This is the Playmobil equivalent of Scooby-Doo. It's not just, you know, a Scooby-Doo toy made by Playmobil, if that makes sense. I know I'm kind of splitting hairs, but I think that's kind of neat, and it really gives it like an authentic quality to it, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But anyway, Shaggy looks good. All Playmobil have that kind of bend at the waist, and then they have the arm that goes around, and then you have a head swivel. So that's what we're looking at for him. Now the Scooby-Doo, I will say, is probably the most like non-Playmobil piece, because you can see he does have the normal painted eyes. I'm really not sure how they do animals in Playmobil. I haven't run into too many. Really the dinosaurs, but I guess they don't have like weird like human eyes, so I guess that makes sense. But you can see he can actually hold the flashlight, which is kind of cool. Holds a little too well. I can't get it out of there. You have normal leg swivel for all four legs. You have the tail can spin around 360. The head, neck can move down, so you can like sniff the ground. Up, the mouth does open. So I mean, it's really nice articulation for this. Now he does have the collar, but it's got this big like clasp on the side, which just makes it look a little weird. I don't know. I feel like they could have done something better. I guess they didn't want to make it out of a really rubbery plastic, but I feel like they could have, just so you could stretch it just a little bit to get over the head. I don't know. I feel like it's not terrible, and from this side it looks better, but just having that big clasp, I think, kind of looks weird. But he's got the little SD dog tag there, so I think that's kind of cool. And it's definitely a really nice figure. And you can see they give you this stand that you can wedge in between his legs to make him stand up. So if you want him to kind of, you know, walk on his hind legs, which, you know, Scooby was known to do from time to time, and that way you can kind of pitch the head up like that. So it's a really good figure, I have to say. They did a really nice job with it. I love that he can actually hold the flashlight. I think that's hilarious to me. So I'm going to put that off to the side. Oh, now he's not going to stand up for me. Come on. Come on, Scoob. There we go. It does come with a couple tiny accessories down here. You have a sandwich. Obviously, they love eating sandwiches to get some Scooby snacks. This is a sticker on both sides. That's not printed, but goes on very easily. Sticks very nice. Then you have this grapple hook. I don't know what this is. It's just kind of a claw with a thing of rope and then a piece for them to hold on to. So, yeah, it looks like a grappling hook. I don't know. It's like the hook shot from Legend of Zelda. I don't know what's going on. But you have it. It's there. Basically, it comes in 3 pieces. You just thread the rope through and tie knots so it stays. Next up, we have the Ghost, who is our only villain in this scenario. Very, very cool. I think they did a great job with this Ghost. Now, it's supposed to glow in the dark, so I'm going to charge it up real quick on the light here and see if we can show off. Let me see. This is going to throw off my white balance like crazy. Does that... Can we see? You can kind of see. It glows in the dark. This isn't the greatest, but I probably need to charge it more. But it does glow in the dark, which is very cool. Turn that back on. And then how it works is this is just a hat piece, and you can see there's a person underneath, and then this clips around his neck, and then you just slide him out. And then it's just a dude. You know, because at the end of every Scooby-Doo episode, they have to reveal that it's just a guy in a suit. So there you go. You can recreate that now. I think that's pretty cool. I gotta be honest, I don't really know what's going on. Is that red chest hair? But then his hair's black? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm gonna put the ghost costume back on. I think it's nice. I think it looks great. And it clips on very easily. Now the hands don't like fit up in these, you know, this would be like where he puts his hands, but they just stay underneath. It's not a big deal. And then this piece just clips on like any other hat would clip on. Sometimes it's difficult. I like to try to get the eyes to line up. There we go. That worked out pretty well. So yeah, I think the Ghost is cool. I like it. Very cool. Love that it glows in the dark. Let's move on to the Mystery Machine. I'm going to move these guys just a little bit to the side to give us a little bit more room because the Mystery Machine takes up some space. So we have our 3 new characters here. Fred, Velma, and Daphne. And they look good. The only thing I don't really like, these skirt pieces for the girls, because when you go to have them sit somewhere, I mean, hers isn't so bad, but you can see like it already wants to break apart. You know what I mean? All it is it's 2 pieces like that you just clip around the waist, which is fine, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, I've seen them do other things in the past, and it's difficult. I understand. When you have the legs come up the way they do with that bend, you'd either have to do like a skirt piece around the back and then have it kind of be cut out so that the legs could fold. This you can kind of like just push it up her torso a little bit, but she still can't like do 100% 90 degree sit, but she can get fairly close. She can still sit in the vehicles and things, but I don't know. I don't love that. I don't love that piece being real loose. I don't love that it impedes the articulation. Velma's got the same thing. Velma's actually just kind of like snaps apart like it's an action feature. You know, like she's casting off her armor or something like that. But it snaps back on. It stays on pretty well. I think the figure looks great. Like the detail with the dimples. I think this is a real working magnifying lens, which is pretty cool. I love that. The little turtleneck piece that clips around the neck works really well. All of these have the same articulation. They have like a wrist swivel, arm movement, head, and then the bend at the waist. So Fred looks pretty good. Obviously, he doesn't suffer from the problem not having a skirt, so he can bend perfectly fine. You have that clip around for his collar, which I think looks pretty good. His hair actually, I think, can move, because I think you could pop that off if you really wanted to. But so all 3 characters look great. I'm not a huge fan of the way the skirt's attached, just because, like I said, they impede that articulation at the waist, and it makes it difficult to get them to sit in the vehicle, which is kind of a bummer. Other than that, they're fantastic. Other accessories here, we have some more Scooby snacks. Basically exactly the same piece as the green one that came with Shaggy and Scooby. They're just different colors, and they also have a sticker on both sides. So, Scooby snacks. You get a hot dog, which is pretty cool. The hot dog piece just clips into the bun, and then it has like a little handhold so that the characters can actually hold on to it, which I think is pretty cool. So, I like that a lot. And then you have some pieces of pizza, which also the crust is made to just clip into their hands. So that's nice. And then you have a donut. Fancy frosting donut. And then all these things should just be able to just clip right in. No problem, as you can see. And then they give you this tray. Nothing like pegs into the tray. You just kind of toss everything in here. So, food tray. It would have been neat if there were little pegs just to kind of have it stand up, but it's not a big deal. You get another flashlight, very similar, if not exactly the same, from the one that comes with Scooby. You get this thing, which I'm not 100% what this is. I guess obviously they just clip it in the hand like this. I'm guessing it's some kind of like GPS or some kind of tracking thing or something, because it looks like it has like 2 points connected by a line, so some kind of tracking device, maybe something like that. You have a camera, and it has a little strap, so you could kind of put this through the hand if you want. I think the whole hand should fit through this. Yeah. And then, of course, you can just clip it into the hand. There we go. And then you can take photos. So that's pretty cool. So it's a lot of fun accessories, which I think is neat. And now I'm not going to be able to get this off. All right, there we go. We also have a treasure map, which is pretty cool. I like that. And then you have these, which are really neat, and we'll get into these more later. So the Mystery Machine comes with these three, and then this one comes with the Scooby and Shaggy set. And you can see that it's a ghost. So how this works is, and actually all those blind bags I mentioned that come with the individual creatures, like the costumed villains, they each come with their own like file. And then there's a thing in the Mystery Machine we'll take a look at where you can put them in and it backlights them so you can read it, so that it looks like a computer screen. So it's actually a really fun little gimmick. We'll go through all these in a minute, and I'll show them off as we use them in the van. But I just think it's a fun little gimmick. It gives you a reason to want to collect them all. You can collect all the files. Each one comes with its own file. And I just think that's a fun little idea. It gives it a kind of meta aspect to the line to make you want to collect everything. And that they know how to get to me. That's how you get me to buy everything. So all of these accessories are great. All the characters here are great. But let's go ahead and let's dive into the Mystery Machine itself. So right off the bat, this thing aesthetically looks fantastic. Rolls very well. The wheels, the tire, you just kind of push over this axle piece and then you snap it in. Very easy to put together. All of this is paint. Everything on the side here, on the hood of the car. Only thing, this is a sticker here. The license plate. All of this is paint. And then, for whatever reason, these two, one on each door, is a sticker. I don't know why they decided to stop painting when they got to the back. But so be it. But again, the wheels roll very nicely. You have a trailer hitch back here. I guess if you have other sets, could be even non-Scooby-Doo sets that work with a trailer hitch, you could go ahead and use that. So how this works, we come to the front. This piece lifts off, and you can see it's just kind of the windshield piece. It has two rear view mirrors, as you can see, side view mirrors. You have, these are two like Slurpee cups, and again, they have a hold so that, let's see, where's Daphne? She could use a fine beverage. There we go. So they just hold the clip right in. I think that's really cool. That's a fun little thing. I think we saw some of these with the Ghostbuster sets as well, but I always think that's fun. And then there's just two cup holders right there in the front. So you can just go ahead and drop them right in. Very cool. If you want to put Daphne in the seat, you kind of have to, like I said, push this up the torso and then get this in as much as you can. And then in the inside here, obviously there's two seats, and there is a steering wheel, and they kind of cut out the bottom because you kind of have to feed the feet around the steering wheel. But you can get her in there. So it's a little bit of a tight squeeze. It's a little easier for Fred just because he doesn't have that skirt piece, so you can see he just drops right in, and he sits a little bit lower. So again, skirt piece makes it a little difficult for them to sit, which is kind of a bummer, but overall, not a big deal. And then once you have them in there, you could just pop this right back on, and you're ready to go. You do have a side door that opens up, which is pretty cool. You just kind of, and then it pulls back. It does make a weird clicking sound, but I don't think you have anything to worry about. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, though. I mean, you could definitely fit a character in here. It's not a problem. But I do think it's cool that they have the little side door as well. Of course, the back door's open. Perfect. You can take this top off like this, so that way you get some light in there, and you can see what's going on. You have two more seats back here. I know it's a little difficult to see, but two more seats here. You have this bench, which can fit two people, but you can also put the bench down, if you need a table or if someone needs to lie down or something. So it's like a futon. I think that's pretty cool. On the inside here, they have this like Ghostbuster wand. I don't really know what's going on with this. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a water gun or I don't know. I don't know why they have this like Ghostbuster wand, but you can see it plugs in there by a rubber cable. And you can just, there's a clip right here, so it just clips like so. And it just, that's how it is, and I don't know. I don't know why. But if you open everything up, you can see you can get a decent amount of light in there. So that's pretty cool. But let's go ahead. We're going to take a look. I can actually take this piece out. And we'll take a closer look at the piece I mentioned earlier. So how this works, you can see it's got the little handholds. It fits really snugly into that piece on the inside. You just have to unscrew, put one AAA battery in, no problem. And then you hit this button, and that illuminates this. Click it again to turn it off. Light these up. I think they turn off eventually if you just let them. You can see how that kind of pulses. Let me see, will it just eventually turn off? It might not. You can just click it again and it turns off. So now how these work, if we go ahead and we bring these back in. So you just go ahead, you slide this in, and then it illuminates it. Now I'll be honest, the light is so intense that most of the time, especially on camera, but even in person, it's hard to see the thing. You can see there it just says Scooby-Doo, and it has a picture of Scooby, like with, you know, kind of a graveyard or something in the background. But that light is really bright. And I think it's a really cool idea, and I really like it, but I feel like they could have toned down the LED a little bit so that it just kind of illuminates it instead of like making it blinding. Because it's really kind of hard to see. In person, it's not as bad, but the camera definitely is picking up the LED. But you can see that's just a picture of the Scooby Gang. And then let's move on to the last one. These are the three that come with the Mystery Machine itself. Yeah, so that doesn't really work. But you can see it's like a map. And then the one, I think this is the one that works the best. This is the ghost that came with the other set. So yeah, it's a really cool idea, but unfortunately that light is just so bright that it literally, it's just a light. You don't really see anything else. It's kind of a shame. I don't know if they should have done these maybe like a little bit more frosted so that they are not so clear. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, but it's a shame. It's a really cool idea, and I like it. But it just, unfortunately, doesn't execute that well. But I still applaud them for trying. I think it's really cool. And then you just go ahead and you slide this right back in there, and it just clips in. It stays pretty snug. But I love the fact that you have so much room in here. I mean, you can easily fit 4 people in the back and more if you just kind of sit them on the floor. You can fit 2 in the front. So they could really do something cool with this. The only thing I will say, my only complaint about the Mystery Machine itself, I wish it had more storage. I wish there was somewhere in this like console here, like instead of giving me this weird Ghostbuster gun, maybe put somewhere where I could slide this into. Underneath would have been fun. Or somewhere to like have the snacks like clip down or something. It's not a huge problem, but you know, if you want to put these things in here, you're just gonna have to throw them in the back here, just loose. Maybe even if like the bench could, like if you could lift up the bench and this was hollow underneath, and I could put food elements in there and then put it back down. But you have to really like snap this in, like it has one of those. Actually, they give you an extra one here. These things that they use from time to time where you have to really like snap it in and it's not coming out of there when you're done. So I don't know, some kind of storage for all the, like they give you a lot of great accessories, which is excellent, but they just don't really give you a ton of storage. And I'll have to look, maybe I missed it in the instructions. I'm not really sure. There's a hole on each side here and I have to look up what they're for. Okay, so I just checked the directions, and I don't know what these are for. There's just like a little peg on each side, or a peg hole. I don't know, maybe they could this clip onto it somehow? No. This could probably clip up here, though. There you go. You could do something with that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what these are for. It makes me wonder if this was like a van from a previous line or something. Maybe it was an ambulance or something that they repurposed. I'm not really sure. So not 100% sure what these peg holes are for. But either way, I gotta say, in the long run, I think this is a really cool set. I love the way everything works. I'm gonna go ahead and sit these guys back in here. So like I said, she's kind of a snug fit, but it can work. And then we'll put Velma in the back working on some science, since she's the science whiz. And then I guess we'll put... Now, this is the other thing I hadn't really tested yet. If I put her... Maybe I'll have to sit these... It just snaps right off of there. You put this back together here. Yeah, I wish these stayed together a little bit better, but... If she kind of sits here, and then maybe we'll put Shaggy in here. And then we'll put Scooby... Maybe we'll take the flashlight out of his hand here. And just kind of sit him right here. So there you go. They can all fit. Obviously, Scoob's a bit of a... takes up a little bit more space. But all 5 can fit inside, so that's what I'm interested in. Really well done. I like it. It's not perfect, but I think it's definitely cool. It comes with a lot of great accessories. The paint apps are pretty fantastic. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff here. I kind of wish the Mystery Machine also came with a ghost / villain, whatever you'd like to call them, monster villain. But again, it comes with 3 great characters. It looks great, a lot of great paint applications. A few stickers, they're easy to apply. They, for the most part, knock on wood, they stay adhered very well. It doesn't look like they're going to fall off anytime soon. The only thing that I would complain about, while I think that file system with the computer is a very cool idea, with the LED that lights them up and how you can switch them out and collect more and switch them out, I think that's a great play pattern. It just, unfortunately, isn't executed that great because the LED is just so bright that it's hard to really see what you're looking at. It's easier to see it without the light on, which is a shame. But I still think it's a great idea. I just wish maybe they could have pulled back the strength. Maybe over time, as the battery dies, it'll be a little bit less bright, and maybe that'll work out. So maybe we need like a half-used battery. We'll see. That only time will tell on that. And I also wish that there was some storage for all the accessories. They give you a lot of great accessories. I just really wish they'd give you a little bit more in terms of storage. But that's really it. Minor complaints. I still think it's a great piece if you're into Playmobil, or if you're just into, you know, collecting these classic vehicles like I am. I'm definitely glad I decided to pick it up. I think it looks great. And like I said, this thing, when I first saw it, it really gave me hope. I would love to see them get the TMNT license, because I think they could really do justice to a turtle van. The original Playmates turtle van only ever opened at the top, and I've always wanted one that had doors at the back and a side door. This could easily just flip out with some kind of you know, weapon or something there on the side, like in the cartoon show. So I think that could be a lot of fun. I would love them to get the license for that. I don't know if they really have to compete with anybody else, because I'm pretty sure, well, as I say, Lego did Scooby-Doo, but then I'm pretty sure they lost the license. So I don't really know. Like, I know like Mega Bloks can't have a license if Lego has it, but these aren't really building toys, so I don't know if it's under the same jurisdiction. So I don't really know how that works, but I don't even think Mega Bloks has Ninja Turtles anymore. At least they haven't acted on it in a while. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I would love to see some more classic cars. So far, the Ecto-1's been phenomenal. The Mystery Machine's been great. I think the Ecto-1 was a bit more successful, because that had like perfect storage for all the proton packs and the traps and everything, and that was really, really well done. But I would say this is definitely a close second. We'll have to see where the DeLorean ranks once I get to that one. So, but definitely recommend picking it up. I definitely also recommend picking up these smaller Scooby and Shaggy sets, so you have the whole team. And I think I'm going to look into getting a couple of these blind bags so I can get a couple more, you know, monster villains here, and collect some of these files and try them out in the computer, which I think is, again, still really cool, though not perfect. In any case, I think I've said my piece on this. I recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. I got mine from Amazon, but I've definitely seen them in Walmart's, I don't really think Target sells Playmobil stuff, but I know Walmart has like a limited selection. Not a huge, not as certainly not as much as Lego, but they do have a decent section for Playmobil. So I've seen the DeLorean there. I've seen the Mystery Machine there. So if you're looking for it, I would definitely check out either Amazon or Walmart. I think it's probably your best bet for these. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.